Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're playing on the smaller toys, seeing as how Moose is still wounded. Figured, well, you know what? I'll bring in some of the little guys, get them working, so that we can get them out to play. So right now what we're trying to do is a couple upgrades to Squeak, the buggy build. We have a 2,000-pound winch for it. And then we're also going to play a bit with the swamp buggy again. And I am searching like crazy for where I misplaced the carburetor for my 5.5 horse that's going on the mini bike. We're going to revive it. Well, here's Swampy, our Jiger 6-wheel Alpha. So what we got going with the swamp buggy is, if you remember from, if you've seen the other videos on it, if not, go back and have a look. We did work on it. We did get it up and running. The only problem is one of the hydraulic transmissions is running backwards. So the problem is when you push it forward, one goes forward, one goes backwards, and vice versa. So what should be forward does a donut right, and what should be backwards does a donut left. And if I twist it to do a donut, it actually goes forward or reverse. Not exactly easy to drive. So we're trying to fix that. The only problem is we have minuscule amount of room to build a full linkage for the other motor or the other transmission to make it flip. We can't change the hydraulic lines because they're different sizes, everything else. We have to leave them alone. We just have to get it so that when the one switches right, the other one switches left, and then it'll function. Got all the demographics of it done, figured out what we need, however you want to word that. But anyways, I've got all that done. It's just actually getting, the linkage is in the right place so that everything still works the way it's supposed to. So that when you do pull on this, push on this, and twist it, it'll do what it's supposed to do. So right now you'd have to twist it like this to go forward, twist it like this to go backwards, pull it to turn. That's not quite right. So we will get it fixed up. Basically, this motor here is the one I have to change to make everything function so that this is forward, this is reverse, and then that'll be turned. The idea with all the springs and everything I put in this is so that when I'm forward, I can still turn. So it actually will change the transfer case even when it's in gear. It'll manage to turn. So you don't have to stop, turn, and then go again. You can turn while you're moving. Other than that, we just got to make sure we don't have any leaks, any holes. Then we have to get tires for it. I have the rims. That's not a problem. I have 7 of those, but we just got to get tires for it. And they're not cheap. So that's something I got to look into in the future. Then we're going to give it a quick paint job, and it's good to go. Fate of it, whether it's a keeper or whether we're going to sell it, is still quite up in the air. We'll see what happens with that. So this is a mini bike. This was in episode 1 and also in one of our episodes on the budget builds. This originally was built for Mitchell. I think he was 8 or 9 at the time I built it for him. It had a 6.5 in here. It used to have a 6.5 horse engine with a torque converter and the whole bit. The brakes on it sucked, but it didn't go overly fast, so it really didn't matter that much. Had a shit ton of torque to it. Do wheel stands. Anyways, now we have a 5.5 horse Honda to put into it that I got. That's the one I'm still looking for the carburetor. It's around somewhere. Anyways, I put it somewhere safe. Any mechanic worth his salt knows what happens when you do that. You put it somewhere safe, and yeah, you never see it again. Anyways, once we get that, we're putting it in here. Putting it in here, we're running to this. The wheels on backwards because it was taken off, but we're just going to run a centrifugal clutch this round with a clutch brake, which is way better, much safer. And then we're running with the original 12-inch front tire. The little thing rips. There was another one featured in the budget builds as well, a white one that I built. It was done that way. Went 5 times faster than this one did. And still moved, an adult's butt around without a problem. So that's what we've got planned to resurrect the mini bike and get it back up and running. This is our buggy. You all seen Squeak ripping around a little bit. We plan on getting it out and doing some real ripping with it, get it up to where we messed up Moose. Again, it wasn't Moose's fault, it was mine. So once we get that fixed, he's going to be even tougher. But anyways, this little guy hasn't had his chance to play too much, so we're planning to get him out. And this is where we're installing the winch. It's back here. A little different. I can't pull myself forward out of things. Well, actually I can, because I can double over the bars and pull it forward if I really had to, or under it maybe. But it's more, I figure if I get stuck, I'm going to want to pull it back out. I'm not going to want to pull it through something that I can't get back through. So one is for recovering other things, maybe one of Mitchell's toys or whatever, and for pulling my own ass back out of something. Because I found every time I've gotten this really stuck, I've had to pull backwards. So we figure it's a good place for it. If I put it up front, there's really nowhere to put it. I'm either putting it in the grill and way down here, and I don't like that idea because I'm down too close to the water. And if I put it up here, then I'm in front of the headlights and everything, and I don't really want that. I can't put it behind the headlights because I've got wires and cables and brake lines and stuff going in behind there. So we, after moving around 14 different times and trying to see where we could put it, we've ended up with it being our best place. So we're going to get it mounted in there. And then once we get it mounted, we won't have a fair lead on it, unfortunately, but I don't think it's really going to matter for the amount we're going to be doing with it and where I'm going to be pulling. I don't think it's going to be a problem. If it is, I'll build a little bracket and find some way to bolt it on. But for now, it'll probably just sit the way it is. Anyways, that's the plans for it. We'll show you as the steps get done. Hey, we're getting ready to take Squeak out, and we did a bunch of improvements to it. I still got one to work on yet. I'll give you a quick run around and also show you what I should have already been taping for you. Anyways, as you already knew, Squeak headlights, horn, all that kind of stuff. We got the battery finally in the front. We got that all made up. We finally got the floor attached so it's not bouncing anymore. So that's good. I got to build little inner fenders for it. Just some kind of block to part of it, just to keep water from coming up. I had a good puddle on them and I'm soaked. We moved the seat up in the front. It was down too low, so you were sliding off of it. It wasn't very comfortable. Other things we've done to it, not much except for this. We added a 2,000-pound winch to the back of it, which I am currently using to load it onto the trailer. The trailer is not attached to anything. I pitched it backwards. I don't have ramps at the moment. Mitch does, but I don't. So I just turned around, put it up on this, and used the winch, pulled it back up onto it. It's now at the point where the trailer is almost balanced. I can lift it with one hand. So I can now lift the trailer, move it around with one hand. So I'm going to move it up a bit, and then we're going to try to get this the rest of the way on. I want the weight on the tongue end so that it'll not bounce around as much when it's on Moose. And yeah, we're going to hook it up to that and head up and play. hopefully by the time we get to go up and play, the weather's better than it is right now because it's pouring rain. But even if it's a bit wet, we're planning on taking them out and having some fun. So wish me luck. I'm going to try to continue getting this on.
Well, we got the buggy loaded, met up with Mitch, got up there, met up with Hayden and Emily, and we had a good time. But you're going to have to wait until the next video to see that. Thanks for watching.